Buckle up, this is a long one. Before I get into it, I want to paint you a picture of where I was in life at this point. It was 2015, I was grinding through nursing school, and if you've ever been in nursing school, you know that is not a casual thing. That is your entire personality for however many years you're in it. Every free moment is studying, every dream is about clinical rotations, and every dollar counts because tuition doesn't care about your feelings. So I was waitressing. Not glamorously, not at some trendy rooftop bar, just a solid, well-loved local restaurant that had built its entire reputation on word of mouth alone. No ads, no billboards, no social media presence to speak of. Just good food, good service, and people telling their friends. Which, if you think about it, means every single customer interaction mattered. One bad experience could ripple through an entire social circle. The owners knew this. The managers knew this. And every staff member who lasted more than a month knew this too. I had been there long enough to be trusted. Not officially a trainer, I didn't have the title or the pay bump, let's be clear, but I was reliable enough that when new hires got cut loose from their official training, I was one of the people they'd station nearby to catch them when they started drowning. Which in the restaurant world is not if, it's when. So when we got a new hire I'll call Danny, I wasn't surprised to find myself paired near him on his first real solo night. Danny was older than me by probably 20-something years. He had just been released from prison, which he was upfront about, and honestly, props to the manager who gave him the shot because Danny was trying. You could see it in everything he did. He was careful, he was polite, he triple-checked orders, he apologized for things that weren't even his fault yet. He was the kind of person who made you want to root for him, you know? He was nervous in that quiet, tightly wound way that made your heart hurt a little. Not falling apart nervous, just aware, painfully aware that he was starting over, that this job mattered, that messing up had consequences he understood better than most. I liked him immediately. That night he had the section right next to mine, close enough that I could keep half an eye on his tables while running my own. The plan was simple, let him find his footing, hop in if things got rough, make sure he ended the night feeling like he could come back tomorrow. Easy enough, on a normal night. This was not a normal night. The table came in maybe an hour before our section was supposed to close. 6 of them, all in their 20s, that specific brand of loud and confident that you clock the second they walk through the door. Not necessarily mean yet, just the kind of group where you already know at least one of them is going to be a problem. You develop a radar for it after enough shifts. Danny got them seated and started off fine. He was nervous, but holding it together, smiling, going through the motions. That's when the trouble started. The woman I'll call the leader, and she was absolutely the leader. The whole table orbited around her, started asking for something that wasn't on the menu. She was very specific about it, very casual in that way that's actually not casual at all, like she was testing him. She said they had it at the other location all the time, that we obviously had the ingredients, and that it shouldn't be a problem. Now look, a more seasoned server might have smiled and firmly redirected her. But Danny was 20 minutes into his first solo section, and this woman had the energy of someone who had already decided how this interaction was going to go. So he came to me, this slightly panicked look in his eyes, and asked what he should do. I told him to check with the kitchen. See if they'd make it. If not, I'd handle it. The cooks were fine with it, it was basically a wrap situation, nothing complicated, and I thought, okay, crisis averted, we move on. But that one accommodation was all she needed. That was the door, and she walked right through it and set up furniture. From that point on, every single time Danny came to that table, she needed something else. The moment he set something down, she'd remember something new. More napkins. A different drink. Something on the side. Can you check on that? Can you bring extra? Actually, can you swap this out? It was relentless, not in a distracted, genuinely forgetful way, but in a deliberate, watched and timed way. The second he turned to leave, her hand would go up. I started covering his other tables without making it obvious.